April 2nd, 2024, into a new month. Hope you all are doing very well. It's been a very busy week, but yeah, lots going on. Um, and first off, I know that I think Jenny will have the deck or whatever, but like just a quick shout out. I don't know, Guillermo's here too. Like, dude, this Echo magazine, into rad. A new Thank month. You for all the work on on getting it out there. It's been super cool, and I saw that like some of the folks from Drip were tweeting about it too, which is really awesome. And yeah, we've got a bunch of other things going on. I feel like I've been on calls nonstop today, but lots of like experimental stuff going on. We talked about this a bit last week with some of the meme coin stuff that we've been experimenting with the Mutai folks, which has been pretty cool. And that's really taking off. We've been getting a lot of calls from other projects that want to do this. And then we've also been working with folks internally on position this to work within the product too, and finding out some bugs around some things too that are getting worked through. But I think it's been pretty cool. And I just got off another call a minute ago with a company that said they also have an L1 where they're working with Quest and Bandit, and we're getting some experiments going with them as well to kind of promote some of those quests with the ad platform. I think we're trying to get those off this week. But yeah, it's just exciting. Things are definitely picking up, and we can get like a lot of like more. If we can find the formulas right now, like at this stage of the market, those will be the things that'll kind of carry us through. And I think I tweeted this out, but basically like there's a couple different like buckets of deal flows that we're looking at for this run up, and they all include BAT, and like one of them, is around these kind of meme coin campaigns, which you can kind of look at as like replacing meme, whatever is like kind of culturally hot, and available, that we can deliver value to, which we're seeing pick up on. And then this Quest promotion is the second deal bucket. The third is around what we talked about last week around the Polkadot, the ecosystem proposal, which we can replicate elsewhere too, where it's kind of like delivering, driving a bunch of demand and awareness for a lot of these ecosystems, and helping them to grow as well, and seeing how we can incorporate that into these things too, which is all exciting. You kind of have like small, medium, large buckets, and then also taking what we can do to like promote the incentivize these things. So like we have the first campaign promo with buying BAT, but we kind of made an extension on that for the first 3 months at a lower discount, but just to keep people buying with BAT. And then there's a bunch of other things too around this with these meme coins that we're talking about. But it's interesting. It's just a lot going on, a lot of excitement. And then you got stuff like Echo, it's getting dropped with it. It's just awesome to see. And then also a reminder to folks that Wormhole airdrops this week. And if you were one of those that bridged over BAT into Solana, you should check and see if you're eligible for that Wormhole airdrop. But some I wanted to mention here, so it was top of mind. When I looked, it was more like I don't think I was eligible on the Solana side, but I was eligible on the Ethereum side. But yeah, so double check your Ethereum side wallets if you haven't yet. But yeah, lots going on, and I see that Jenny's here, so I'll hand the mic over to her for the typical run through.
Yeah, actually, hi everyone. I just need a minute if that's okay.
Yeah. Take a minute. Makes sense. Yeah. So let's see here. Yeah, I see. I was mentioning Google's incognito lawsuit, which rough, but good for us, I think. Luke's more of a rapper. I like everything. This is cool though. But yeah, I think one thing that's been kind of cool to see. I know Nam and several others were co-collaborating with some of the Mutai folks around memes. I think we're going to start to see like if this takes off with the advertising thing. I think there's a lot of opportunity to do more cross collaborations with communities, and we don't want to force it or anything. I mean, I think if people feel compelled to, great, but I am seeing on the other side of it the meme coin projects are like kind of excited to see when we do put these memes together. There's something about the association is just kind of cool, like of having these two things come together. So anyway, more to come on that front. But I see that people are talking about Frenchie and Guac, and I was talking to Drew about this earlier. I think like if there are projects that we had spaces with, that might be eligible for doing, some of these meme coin campaigns and things like that, like let us know. Like we'd like to. I think talking with them would be good, and then basically like because this is a new type of campaign that we're running, getting everybody on the same page up front would be good. But we can definitely follow up with that after. But okay, I'll hand it back over to Jane.
All right. Hi, everyone. So we're going to dive into some community updates today. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Okie dokie. So actually, today is a very big day for those who subscribe to our Drip House channel and received the second issue of our Echo NFT magazine from the Bat community. I will let Guillermo talk all about it later, but just wanted to give some recognition up top here for Guillermo and everyone on ambassadors who participated and contributed to this issue. It's finally out. It's still being distributed, but yeah, just wanted to congratulate everyone who took part. It was a big project and it launched today. So yay. Okay, next slide. All right. Oh my gosh, my goodness, I can't speak today. I just want to share some stats from Social Blade to show our social growth on X. I'm going to share stats from both Bat community and Attention Token, our primary Bat account. So on the left-hand side here, you can see, I think this is an annual graph. I'm actually having trouble seeing my screen right now. I didn't realize how small this was going to be when I put it up here. But yeah, it looks like it's going July, January, from year to year. And as you can see, since the start of January 24, all the way up to now, the spikes have been spiking for Bat community. We have been gaining weekly followers very consistently. Actually, I think the last time we checked in, we had just surpassed 20K. We're currently past 22,000. Actually, the number is right there on the right, 22,000. Is a 277 or 877? I can't even see, but we're going up. We're trending up. We've been doing a lot more on X. We've been a lot more engaged with the community there this year. We've been sharing regular updates from our ambassadors. Any new utility cases for Bat, anything cool going on in the Bat community and in the Bat world. We've been really good about disseminating that on X more so than we have been in the past, and it's making a difference for our community growth there. And as you can see on the bottom left, our tweet frequency has also gone up pretty significantly since the start of January, and so that's been helping things. But we love to see the growth. So thanks to everyone who follows. And same thing for Attention Token, actually. As you can see, well, the left-hand side, again, this is like year to year. So the second row where you see the spike, the downward spike, that refers to like accounts that we are following. So not as important, although we should probably be following more accounts. But our follower count has stayed pretty consistent, but our tweet activity has really picked up. So I think we will see some positive incline here over time as well. And followers are up also on Attention Token. So yeah, we're doing good. And now we'll move on to some weekly highlights from the community. Saw this awesome art that 9_____3 created. This is AI generated Bat art. Thought it was really cool and wanted to highlight it here. I can't wait till Leo can generate images, because then we can start creating Bat and Brave art with Leo. But until then, I'm not sure which AI they used, but yeah, some really cool, thought-provoking imagery here. And then also just wanted to highlight some funny memes and doodles from Left Hand and Jimmy. It's got Jimmy's art on the left-hand side, and then Left Hand in the middle and on the right. He always makes us laugh. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight that. And actually, there were some great photos from Alfred, our bad ambassador Alfred, that I wanted to include in the deck, but I ran out of time. The last couple of weeks have been really busy, and I haven't had a chance to put in all the photos that I've been wanting to share. But some really good meetup photos from Alfred. I'll share the link in the chat. They actually weren't from a recent meetup, but for some reason the pictures just got lost on Twitter, and we hadn't seen them or retweeted them. So I retweeted them the other day and highlighted them. And anyway, I'll share them in the chat. They're really good. And thanks to Alfred for all the events that he's been doing. Okay, I'm going to hand it off to BatEarn now. BatEarn.
Without the mute. How's everyone doing? This month, hey, this month the Bat Ambassador of the month is Bat Nicholas. He joined the Ambassador program after helping on the Discord Improvement Council. He's consistently seen upwards through the program, causing us to define the process for everyone along the way. It's like he was like, "So what do you have to do to get from attaché to ambassador? What do you have to do? What do you have to do? Whoa, what do you actually have to do?" So we had to figure it all out so that we could go up. He's always at meetings with plenty to say. He hosted the Brawlhalla Games and created a Clash of Clan to fight for the honour of the Bat Brigade. One of the first things he does was created a multiple community surveys to find out what games we want to play. He's a big contributor to Zeely and a real stickler for the balance. He wanted to make sure that, like, whatever you were doing in the Zeely, whether it was hosting online events, hosting in-person events, or content creation, it kind of get all balanced. I think it's from his background in games. He created the amazing Linktree, which was the final push to get him this award. And yeah, here's another one for your CV, Nicholas. Congratulations.
Let's go. Yeah, thank you.
No worries, mate.
That was honestly perfect timing for me to join this call, because I was like, Ern's asking me to join the call. It must be important, because he never tells me to join the community call. And then I join, I'm here for like 30 seconds, and this slide pops up. And I'm like, oh, okay, let me look at this before I go eat, because I was literally just going to get up. And I'm reading this, and I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds really familiar.
Yes.
So here you can see the perfect example of always at meetings with plenty to say.
No, but for real,
I really appreciate it.
It's been a long time coming. You've been, participating every week. You're on every single call, not always on the community call, I guess, because of the time, but, on every ambassador call, you never shy away from sharing your input with us. You're full of ideas. I mean, you always have like a document full of ideas. For every call. No, and it's awesome. Like, we love the energy, and, you're great. We truly enjoy having you around, and you're really making a difference, like, with the community, with all the games, and helping us streamline our processes with the ambassadors program. You made a really great video about how the ranking system works to help clarify that for new ambassadors. That was awesome. And I mean, there's so much yet to come. So yeah, thank you, Nicholas.
Thank you. I really appreciate being let into the program. You know what I mean? And hopefully I'm here for. Hopefully I'm an old man, and I tell my future wife and kids, "Oh, you gotta wait 1 second, me an hour. I need to join the ambassador."
Congrats, Nicholas, man. It's awesome.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Love it.
So yeah, we're thinking about moving on. Well, we're not thinking about it. We've set a date on moving on to season 4. We've got a good crew with us at the moment, but it's time to get some new recruits. Currently, we've got 7 ambassador leaders who have proven themselves again and again on knowing what they're doing and how to inspire our people. We've got 46 ambassadors who are people who we know and trust. And yeah, and then we've got 12 attachés who still haven't quite got up there yet, but they're trying. So we're opening up again in May. We want to recruit people who are in regions which we aren't supporting yet, because it's good to cover the whole world. We're revamping our onboarding, updating all our documents, our forms, as well as having game base ready by then. got Stan the man in Kenya. He's been onboarding people, and here is him sticking a Brave sticker onto a car. Hey. They're big stickers.
Yeah, those are some locally printed stickers for sure. I don't think we mixed it. Stickers that big on the spike.
I think they probably charge a lot less from there than they would over here.
Sorry, did I move on prematurely? Or
No, it's all good. I've said my piece. Thank you, Jenny.
Awesome. Thank you, Battern. Hand it off to Paula.
Hi, everyone. First of all, happy Easter to those who celebrated. I hope you had a lovely day. So we just published our space recap from March 15th with VeChain on Bad Communities Notion. I feel like this is a good alternative if you don't have like the time to listen to the recordings. I'm so sorry; it's a hard word for me to pronounce with my Spanish accent. But anyway, it's a good alternative if you prefer to read, which I personally find it easier when I can visualize the information, if that makes sense. Um, so there you have not only the recap of our conversation, but also you can find information about the project, such as their website, social media, the guests, and their position or role at the company, etc. And these recaps are also shared in the AMA Calls recap channel under information in the Bad Brigade Discord. And additionally, we just posted and highlighted the recap of Raposa Coffee from February 2nd on the Back Community X account, and we will be posting more recaps soon. And that's all from my side. I will hand it out to Drew for some community updates. Thank you.
All right. So yeah, last week we had a Twitter space with X Punks, which ended up actually going pretty well. Batter and Godson and Paula kind of led that one, and they were interesting. Coming from X, they're moving to Solana, but they built like a marketplace and kind of all kinds of other things going on there. So the guy was interesting. And thank you, Moonbeamer, for the graphic that you can see on the right. She made a video with the space announcements and for also getting the guests there, the X-Punks, among others. So this week, we had to kind of move some things around, I think. So this one is TBD still. But, of course, if anybody has projects that they want us to have on Spaces, let us know. And then in the background, kind of like Luke mentioned earlier, we've got kind of a lot going on, and lots of interest in a lot of different areas and different things, whether it's kind of the multi ads or other meme coins. Quests are coming soon, I think, with Bandit and some gaming, projects, all kinds of stuff that kind of want to work with us, with the community, things like that. So, and once again, if there's, specific projects you want us to work with, or you want to kind of collab with, or see Brave collab with, and send them our way. But I think that's about all I got. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. So, as you might have heard, today we dropped Echo after many, many months and much expectation, and I really hope you enjoyed it. We have reached 67,000 subscribers. I'm watching it right now. Yeah, 67,000 followers, and it's a really. Jenny, next slide. Thank you. So as you can see here are the numbers from the screenshot, which was taken around 40 minutes ago. And I don't think much has changed. We have gained from then 400 more subscribers. And yeah, that's the issue. We only stuck with a common this time instead of having rare and legendary. This is something that we might change in the future, and we might include more rare traits if people want those. It's something that we're still exploring and just seeing what works best But if there's demand, 100% open on having legendary traits and rare traits, because I see that a lot of people do care about those, and I see that other projects are launching more, and of course then they usually go to the third party marketplace, so it could be a way of increasing the value of some of the issues that people can hold. Next slide, please, Jenny. Thank you. So these are the transparency numbers that we have that you might have seen from the prior slide. So we have 67.4 thousand subscribers, which have just updated from the past 40 minutes. And we're still gathering, like every day when I open the channel, I see there are more people joining, from which 46.7 thousand people are active users, which means that they have at least one droplet. This is basically like a mechanic that they use for people to claim the drops and make auctions and donate to creators. And as of now, we have 294 likes on this drop. And of course, this might increase as time goes on. Next slide, Jenny. Thank you. Oh, there you go. No, yeah, that's the one. So,
I'm so sorry.
no worries. Kind of spoil it there. Um, so for the future of Echo, I think it's important to start discussing and realize like what are the things that are going on forward. So for that, I think a roadmap will be essential, not only for people to know what to expect, because I know that like Marshall was asking the other day, like when is the next drop? And honestly, we don't know. But having a roadmap will make us accountable to actually know and deliver on set dates. And also, people can have something to look forward to. Collaborations. I noticed that on Drip there are many different projects. They are quite substantial, like Pith, for example, and Backpack. And I think we should start reaching to some of those and start asking if they want to collaborate. And we could collaborate on Drip or even outside of Drip, but Drip ends up being like an excellent vehicle to find all of these potential projects that we could partner with or even collaborate. So that's exciting. And also, last but of course not least, I think this is one of the most important points, but not the most important point, which is innovation. Like Luke was saying, and feel free to jump in at any point, Luke or Jenny. I think we are in a very critical point where just doing a lot of experimentation, and I think that now is the big point of I'm not, I feel that I'm not making much sense, but overall, I just want to say that this is the perfect time to experiment and explore things within chain and off chain and see what works best and actually keep innovating and just bring things forward. Because we're seeing now like a project like Tensor, for example, which a couple of years ago weren't all that good, but nowadays are just giant within the space. And I think that's due to the innovation that they keep always researching, like what else can be achieved, what has never been done before. And I think that's the way forward. And I think that's what we should do with the magazines, just try to experiment things that haven't been done before and just see how far we can actually scratch the NFT tech to keep innovating within the space. And this is, I think, the most important point, which is Echo and BAT. I think that now that we are gathering like a substantial amount of people that are dropping their eyes on Echo, I think we should use this to increase the popularity of BAT and just overall awareness of the token. And overall, I think that Echo might apply some pressure on projects that we have reached in the past, like Tensor, for example. It's not that these will immediately have BAT supported, but I think it's a possibility that should be explored. And I think having a project like Echo will bring more eyes and more opportunities to start bringing more adoption for the token, for utility overall. Like we can start having more places accepting BAT, and that would be just fantastic. And one thing that I've said many, many times is that I would love to keep Echo like BAT, which is blockchain agnostic. So we should definitely keep exploring other blockchains, seeing what is being done out there that has not been done before, and how can we explore that and bring Echo into it. I don't know if I should say this or not, but we were talking with Book.io, with no guarantees, of course. This is just us talking, and it would be really cool at some point if we could have Echo Polygon being accepted on Book.io as as an ebook that could be directly there for sale and then could be tokenized for exclusive content. There's just like many possibilities that this unlocks, and I'm very excited about it.
You don't got to worry about speaking. You say speak your mind, your man. I think that's awesome. Like, I mean, there's one thing like I on the last point. Like, I think it's we should always be doing that, right? Like, I've been going on a bunch of these like, all roads to Polygon spaces and trying to and Carlos and I've been going and talking with Polkadot people. And like, I think we should like brave and bad or blockchain agnostic, and we do things like obviously like this on-chain settlements are going to go to Solana first for there are practical reasons why that's happening, but like the end goal is to not just have it be a one-chain thing, and I think that these types of outreach are helping us to learn. Like I was just on a call right before this one with well, I had two calls today, like one of them with an L1 project that also started in L2, and they were on Polkadot. Now they're doing an L2 on Ethereum, and another one that was like all about like Polygon stuff. Like, and by us getting out there on these different chains, it shows that we have an interest, and we should be there. Like, because realistically, like no one's gonna just subscribe to one thing, and BAT should be everywhere. So dude, I'm just blown away by this work. I think it's really awesome, and the initiative here is great, and yeah, we got your back, man. I think keep it going.
Thank you, friend. I think that's really good, to openly say these things, because I think that's the thing that the community is most bullish about is, we're not dependent, we're not closing doors, we're constantly open for new people within the space that will even do the same thing that Brave does, because competition ends up being healthy because it will end up promoting both hands. Anyways, I see that C-Ray has a hand up. I'll let him come on up.
Yeah, as we're still talking about Echo, I did actually receive it this time, but I was going to ask, do we know when Brave is going to be doing work to where we can actually open it within our wallet?
I don't have an answer. It's something that I want to push forward, obviously, but I know that it's honestly very hard tech. Phantom doesn't even have it, and Phantom's whole deal is just a wallet. So it might take some time until that happens, but I have no authority on speaking in that regard because I have no clue what's going on the wallet hand. But it just might be difficult. It's my take on it.
All right. No, I was wanting to make sure it wasn't just me because I see where it says like the Web3 Gaming Echo, but then you click on it and it's just like a broken image, and then it shows the contract address. So I was like, how the heck do I read this again?
You can read it directly on Drip. So going on Drip on your vault, you should be able to read it. But I agree 100%, something that I reached out, and I know that they're working on it to fix that immediately so that you can actually see within the wallet and the description of your NFTs within your wallet.
Right,
later
awesome.
on, might be possible to read it within the wallet. I just don't know if the tech already exists because these are not NFTs. They are CNFTs, which are compressed NFTs, which might bug some of the things that already exist within the wallet.
I mean, I think it is the tech does exist. I mean, because on Backpack, because I was kind of looking at it on each different wallet. Backpack does show it, which is cool. I think it's just a matter of us like because I think every different like media type has to go through getting allowed to be made viewable, I guess. Like there's a better technical term for that, and my brain's a little fried, so I mean I know I'm failing at that, but yeah, like I think it's less of a tech being there issue and more of a like an implementation thing. But I think that CNFTs are not going away. If anything, they're gonna be more and more out there. So it's something that'll probably like I don't have a date or anything on that like in but I think it's something we should be working toward if we can.
Hope that clarifies it. And I think that's it from my end. Thank you, everyone.
An awesome presentation, you guys. Like very cool to see. Very, very cool to see. Yeah, a huge shout out to folks that have been, reporting issues and being so active. I got some posts from people in community and obviously like the Wallet Chat group and everybody bubbling up feedback. Just so everybody's aware too. Like we got there was one issue I was kind of capturing a bunch of the Solana feedback into and GitHub. And somebody from the team gave an update on that this morning. And so they've been working on it, and we've been kind of escalating it internally too. I know that's a pain point. I know it's kind of frustrating. It was for me too, just like as a Solana user too, running into this. But the team's working on it, and they'll be updating as we go. But I think that some of those issues were even in the issue. The reply that we got from I'm trying to remember who replied in, but anyway, like it was pointing to some other issues. So like they broke it out into 3 different areas that are getting worked on right now. So hopefully we see that land soon and it eases those pain points there too, because I know it's been frustrating for people. And I've been working one-on-one with a bunch of people that have been dealing with the issue to try and help talk them around like workarounds in the meantime, et cetera. So I just want to kind of acknowledge that and let everybody know that it's known and it's getting actively worked on, and the team really wants to get that dialed in as soon as possible. So thanks for your patience, folks, if you've been running into the issue. And I know it's like a kind of a cascading thing too, because different types of transactions were getting bit by it, and like different types of situations were coming from that. But anyway, thanks for patience on that. Well, you can open it up for questions. Too for everybody else. Floor is open. Yeah, if anybody wants to talk about anything, doesn't even have to be questions. It could just be like the weather or whatever. But we're here.
Well, in the chat, Aditya asks, which Brave is better for the wallet, normal, beta, or nightly?
Yeah, I think like if you're like the release channel, the normal version is going to be the most stable. The updates are going to happen on nightly first, but that's going to be the least stable, and beta is going to be something in between. I mean, it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. I know that some of these bugs that have been happening to kind of table stakes features, so it's probably not the most clean answer, but if you're looking for something that you want to have the lowest risk on, like the release channel is going to be the one, the normal one.
Makes sense. Yep.
Yeah, like if you want something that's like, yeah, Bowz has a good point. Like I think if there's a quicker fix that you're looking to do, get functional or whatever, like Nightly's going to have the fixes fastest. I mean, unless it's something that they can update out of band or that gets uplifted, where by that I mean it gets added up the trains faster. Yeah, and who's got hands up? We've got 2 hands up. I think Galapagos first, and then I can have C-Ray follow up.
Yeah, are the stats going to be released today for the for March?
Oh, yeah, probably today, maybe tomorrow. I've got to double check on that. I know that we were getting all the data back, and yesterday was there's a holiday weekend, so and yesterday was like a Canadian, UK, bunch of place holiday, so I think it should be, if not today, very soon.
Are the numbers good?
I honestly, like, I have to double check myself. They were looking good. But I haven't looked at them today so far. I've been called for this.
Oh, good.
I hope they're good. They should be good. I know the wallet numbers have gone way up. Like it's just like the end of February, all of a sudden we just saw this like boom in activity. So must be good.
Yeah, I guess that new update with iOS in Europe, I'm sure that probably helped too.
Yeah, it helped boost.
To choose the browser.
We saw that with even with rewards too, like more users coming on because of that. Yeah, that was a really cool thing to see some lift on. Let's see here. Let's see. C-Ray, you got a hand up.
Yeah, I just was going to be quick. Had you heard back from Jan since I had mentioned everything to you guys last week?
Yeah, I hadn't heard back. I saw that you commented in there, and I was on a call with him earlier today, and I mentioned he said he was going to take a look. So, let me see. Let me follow up with him again. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, no, all good. I mean, you just see the list of things that I'm hoping to address, anyways.
Yeah, for sure. No, it was a good list too. I will. Yeah. I know you said he was going to look at it, so I'm going to have him take a look and follow back up there.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Nam Gang says, Luke on Brave Watt, profit loading speed is quite low, which causes my Brave on iOS to frequently crash. If that speed is as fast as Leo, that would be extremely happy for me and everyone. Yeah, I think that loading speed is something that has come up and we've raised it with the team. I think the other thing too is around like making sure that those numbers are updating quickly, and then making sure that the lists are current too as things come up. But it's also something I'm seeing complaints around on Phantom and others too. And I think that I'm glad you're raising this, and yeah, with teams getting brought up to speed on it. I don't have a date on resolution or anything like that, but it's something that I think the amount of like new tokens that are hitting, and the pace of activity that's been happening is like starting to show new things that are issues that were not as noticeable, I think, when we had a lower volume situation going on. So anyway, thanks for bringing that up, and we'll have the team take a look at it. We learned the same thing, except I didn't use Leo. I used Search as an example when I was bringing it up in the past, but I think Leo's a good one too. Let's see here. Crippled Resistance, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I'm seeing a lot more people say that Brave is too worried about crypto, and is not concentrating enough on the browser side and privacy or whatnot. How do we combat against that?
Yeah, it's a good question, and I think a lot of the times, like honestly, it depends on who's mentioning it and what their interests are. Because like on some ends of the spectrum, people are like, you guys are like, I hear things of like, oh well, it seems like Brave's abandoning some things with crypto, and other people are saying, oh, it seems like you're abandoning things on privacy or browser. The reality is that we're doing a lot, and sometimes attention seems to be more on certain areas than others. Sometimes that's related to like the pace at which things get shipped and updated, and other things are just what's going on more broadly. But I think there's a balance, and the reality is like during the bear market, we got the exact opposite, the inverse of that feedback. Like people were saying, why aren't you guys shipping more on the Web3 side? And like, have you guys like given up or whatever on that? And so, I mean, a lot of this I think has to do with, pace of market shifting and stuff. But realistically, like, I mean, the team is doing a ton on privacy, and we're doing, if you look at what we've been posting, like there's been quite a few things around privacy. We've been actually like even having team members on like the podcast and stuff to talk about it, because of this Vanifest 333 thing coming up. Like we're trying to think of other ways where we can get the word out. And then I think also it's hitting the surface a lot more too, because of like the election season and free speech and all this stuff that's kind of getting thrown out into the mix right now. But I mean, some people would say too that we're like leaning into AI more. Like the reality is like all these things are new and developing technologies, and we're trying to stay on the leading edge of that, because those our users are like leading edge users. So some of them are trying one of all, some of them are really focused on one or two of those things, and then some of them just only care about one thing. And realistically, like we want to be able to innovate on all of them, and then also like have a good browser that your neighbor would use, even if they don't even care about any of them. And some people are just like, I don't want any of the extra stuff. I just want a stripped down browser that just works really fast. And so we hear it from all sides. I think combating it just means like, we have different areas of the company and different people working on those areas. And as long as we're delivering user first, software, we're working towards all of them. But realistically, I think too, like from a business perspective, there's a lot of value in developing and innovating in these different areas as far as like value of the company goes and what kind of technology we're bringing. I mean, if you think about it, like we're positioning ourselves like really well with the browser as kind of this user first platform. And then we started to incorporate Web3. If we can innovate on the privacy side there too, there's never been a better time than now for somebody to do that. Actually, like I had a really interesting podcast interview yesterday with this guy from Inca, and you guys will see it when we release it. But their whole company basically just grabs like open source intel that's out there on like token flows and all this information that's from the chain. And I think it's really highlighting the need to have like a more privacy forward approach on the blockchain side of things too. So I think these things are evolving. Eventually, like a lot of this is just going to be ubiquitous anyway, and it's going to be less siloed, and people want to have privacy with all of it. And so I think that my answer to that is that we're not a one thing or the other. It's like, can we innovate on all these fronts? Because realistically, like private keys and AI are going to probably be used together, right? Like, and privacy is going to be a part of all of this. So I don't know. Hope that helps. It's probably not the best answer, but it's the one that I feel strongest about, I guess.
Do you think that the other browsers are starting to try to craft on Brave more?
I think so, in some ways, for sure. There's always going to be like the options out there, because I see these feedback too from people where it's like, okay, like Brave does this, this, and this, but it doesn't do these other three things. And the reality is that sometimes, there are probably going to be more extreme options out there for more extreme privacy protecting cases than what we provide by default. But there's a trade-off that you have to evaluate. Like if a user's going to a website and it's a first party to first party thing, like, that's one thing. But, if you start blocking stuff that's just functional, right? Like you're going to break the web. And one thing we've seen over time is like the great way to churn users or get people to leave is to break the web. And so I think that, we're seeing folks drafting off of this in some ways. Some ways it's like kind of hand wavy in marketing. Like, when trends started to shift from Web3 to AI, all of a sudden, like you see that like, Opera and folks are just like messaging AI and everything. And it seemed like they're taking less of a focus on the Web3 side. And this is one thing I love about our product is that like, it's not that Brave made a crypto spin-off browser or a different flavor or whatever. Like it all is just like part of Brave. And what we're doing is making all of this accessible for people. But I think that, where we've had benefits is by trying to be early to things. And I think whether you can see all sorts of examples of this, like if you start to look, like we had like in Marshall's on this call, like they were working on zero knowledge proofs with Brave Payments, like back in 2016. Like, and now look at how many times you see ZK referenced out in the space. It's everywhere. And if you look at what they're doing with AI right now, like with Leo and with the privacy side of things, like this is stuff that's just going to be table stakes. But I think, Brave's there early. Even our ad blocking approach, like the second we started seeing notes about Manifest v3, like the team, Brian Bondi and team basically like worked on, with a research team on getting a Rust-based engine that could be built into the core of the browser to kind of mitigate. That was in 2019. And now 2024 is here, and this stuff's actually going to roll out, and it's going to impact ad blocking, and we're ahead of the game. Like, it doesn't always look the greatest when you're early, but like the payoff's there when it comes time to having something usable. And there's always going to be areas where we're going to have rough edges, and that's one of the reasons why we're having this call. That's why we're so open with everybody, is because, with your guys' help, it helps us to smooth those edges and get things usable. So I hope that helps. It's kind of long-winded too, but whatever.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Always good to hear from you. Let's see. I have not been looking at the chat, so I'm going to look at the chat. But I see. We're getting really into the lower tract of food here, but that's cool.
That seems to be the running question in the chat.
Bows, man, how you doing?
Oh, it's been a day. It's going to continue to be a day until tomorrow afternoon.
I hear you, man.
He's having a hard time concentrate because his favorite team is doing well in the NCAA March Madness.
Oh no!
No. That's just gravy, man. That's. I will say, I wish I'd used some of those free bets that they were doing as promos. I'm not really a gambling person, but I think I would have paid out pretty well.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's see here. I'm looking. We got lots to talk about roughage in here. Gosh, look at you guys. Any chance to purchase Braves premium service with that? Yeah, we're working on that. They had to get the device assignments at the account level done, and I think we have a call about that. We have a call about that this week to get an update on that. Let's see here. Phantom. At $40, I can buy a whole trailer park in Canada.
Hey, Luke.
Yep.
Do you know? So the people that are in the on-chain rewards now, will this month's payout be on-chain? How's that going, or what's the?
I believe it's on schedule for April, for being this first month. I haven't heard otherwise. I don't know if anybody from the team's on that might have heard otherwise. Please chime in. But so far, I think everything's on planning.
So that's the plan.
That's the plan. As much as I haven't heard anything otherwise. So,
okay.
Jenny, have you heard anything otherwise?
I have not.
All right. No news is good news in that respect.
That's cool. No, just looking forward to it.
Me too. It's gonna be a big move. I think B Crypto 75. Luke, I looked at new movie apps, websites. One played commercials through Brave browser. Should I report that, and where? Yes, I think so. Where? I think we have a webcompat thread on community.brave. I'm not sure, but yeah, if you let us know what site, it could be here. You could DM me too. I think we should have a webcompat area and community, but if we don't, we should make one. Like Milks is a similar sounding name. Am I going to NFT NYC? I am not going to NFT NYC this year, unfortunately, but I know Carlos is going to be there, and I think some other folks too. Are you going, Like Milks? I hope you are. If you aren't, then you're just like me. I'm not going. All right. I'll put a question to you all. Oh, please do, Like Milks. Which are there any meme coin projects you guys are holding, aside from what you're holding in BAT, that you'd like to see us talk to? Please let us know. Dr. Manhattan asks, where can I find the contract address for the on-chain reward payment? That's a good question. I don't have it handy, but let me see if I can get it for next week. I can share it here. True Blue Chips there. I probably opened Pandora's box with that question too. I'm thinking about that after the fact, but whatever. I see Jai Bowden on there, or a bunch of others. Cool. What else do you guys want to talk about?
So when I don't need to, so when the bat comes straight to my wallet, are the feds gonna knock down my door and ask for taxes still? Like, what's up with that?
I don't know. You have to talk to your accountant about that, but I think it's a very small amount to be worried about. I think
Mhm.
the real question, like, I mean, it's less than I don't know, $500 a year, right? Like,
Mhm.
talk to your accountant. I'm not a certified tax professional. I think that's what our terms of service say too. But yeah,
Nice.
yeah. But you're not going to get the feds knocking on your door because of something Brave said, because Brave doesn't know you or where you're. I know you because you're Nicholas, of course, ambassador of the month, and frequent enjoyer of these calls. But yeah.
Just say you lost it in the bottom of the lake.
That's right.
Hey, Luke,
Yeah.
how are the Brave Talk numbers? Have you given any interest in changing the pricing of Brave Talk, or give like an introductory, like free 30 minutes or 45 minutes, like we talked a year ago or something?
Yeah, like Brennan has been talking about wanting to explore different pricing and bundling options for these things. Like, and talk would obviously be included in that. I think it's also been kind of we've been adding more to the premium products. So like we have like, Leo, et cetera, that have been added. And so we should be like, there will be some experimentation around this. I think Brennan wants that. I'm not sure when it's happening. I know they're working on the numbers for that, but they're also kind of like at the same time evaluating like what it's just like a lot of things, right? Like you introduce a new thing and then you got to like see how the fit is with that. And I know with Leo, they're looking at that, and also like what types of like how to even how we're going to keep premium with that. Is it going to be the same approach we're doing now or changing that? I know the talk use has been pretty steady. And I think like we're having some conversations with some partners around this, like, Karate Combat was interested, and the more we're talking with we've been talking with some of these meme coin projects, they're interested in. A lot of people don't realize that we have this like Web3 functionality built into it, and so we've had a couple of calls with one of them, I can't say who, but they were pretty big, who was surprised that we could even do that once he found out. So I think more to come on this. I think it's one of those things too where the more discovery we get out there, now that we're heading into a bull market, we can be noisier about like these Web3 features because people are looking for them and get out there with that. So I think bundling and other price things are going to get explored further. I don't have a definitive answer as to when, but I talks here to stay. I don't think it's going anywhere, or going away. I mean, I should say, but yeah, I think we just keep getting better and improved. I don't know, Marshall, you're on. If you have any thoughts on this one.
Sorry, I was muted because someone was talking into my ear. Could you please repeat the topic?
Oh yeah, no, it was just around talk, like how things are going with talk. Are we thinking about any changes to the premium model for that, or and I think a lot of this was around okay, I know Brendan wants to explore more options around premium bundling and stuff, but I didn't know if you had any thoughts on the progress of how talk's going and all of that from your point of view.
Okay, well, talk in general. We are expecting week after next to be releasing talk integrated with Leo. I showed a somewhat broken demo of that about a month and a half ago. I'm sorry it was such a broken demo. I was basically trying to control two laptops sitting next to each other, and it just doesn't work. so far, the internal testing and limited testing has shown a lot of enthusiasm, and so internally that is referred to as Marvin. Although I won't take 5 minutes to explain where the name Marvin came about, but it'll just be called Brave Talk with Leo, and that will be a turning that on will require that the moderator be premium. But then anyone who's on the call will be able to make use of it, regardless whether they're premium or not. There is so that's topic one. Topic two: what about Brave Talk and premium bundles? There's a lot of discussion about having maybe a bundle with something like Talk and VPN and maybe something else together. But there hasn't been any. There hasn't really been any action or activity on it because we're still trying to figure out the right way to sort of model what the behavior and so on would look like. Right now, Talk is $7 a month, or maybe $6.99. I forget which. Leo is at a different price point. VPN is at a different price point. To me, it would make sense to sort of bundle them all together and provide a discount. But I don't. But we're still. Matt is still trying to figure out how to model the thing, and then basically come up with a plan. And the good news is we've been pursuing it. The bad news is we've easily been pursuing this for 3 months, trying to figure out internally what to do, and we just don't have an answer yet. Hopefully, we will have an answer soon.
Thanks, Marshall. That was great.
All right. Yes, you're very welcome.
And I forgot about Leo. And I owe you a follow up too on the demoing it again. My bad. It's been whirlwind.
No worries.
Cool. We got 3 minutes left, folks. Any other items?
Any updates related to like BAT in some way being integrated into Leo?
Oh, good question. I not quite. I think Pay with BAT will be the first move there. So on the premium side.
Any updates on Pay with BAT?
Yeah, like I said earlier, we're getting the account piece fixed on the premium side, and that's working through, and then Pay with BAT should follow right after that.
Is there any way that you could do like a per hour pricing package?
I could ask. I can ask.
Like 25 cents, like the old phone stuff. That might be more. People might like that better.
Yeah, I mean that's like good. And Marshall touched on this earlier, the modeling piece, right? Like of how we would model this out. I think like pay as you go is something Brendan's talked about a lot too, as he likes, especially around like content. But it'd be cool to do that with our products too, and being able to do that more incrementally. I mean, I know personally, like I use my VPN, like I don't use it all the time, or one of them at least. Feds but having a pay as you go would be cool, like so that I'm not having to pay for like a whole month if I'm not using it for a whole month. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like one BAT per hour or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like, and I was actually talking to somebody over at Polkadot about some stuff that they've got coming, and they were suggesting like a pay as you go is a cool way to do it. But so I think there's like it's timely, but something we'll talk about with the modeling of the premium side. It's helpful. Yeah, we're at time now. I've got to basically jump to another thing, but thank you everybody for joining today. Congrats, Guillermo, team, ambassadors on the Echo release. It's really awesome. We'll be back in 1 week, same bat time, same bat channel. Have a good one. See you all then.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, right.